Eindhoven is the fifth largest city in the Netherlands. It is known as the City of Lights and is widely recognized for constant developments in innovation, technology, and design. Constantly bustling, the center of Eindhoven is visually modern, and the city was also the birthplace of the Philips company. But how did this city of such global importance emerge? In 1232, the Duke of Brabant Hendrik I granted city rights to a small settlement at the confluence of the Dommel and Dender rivers. At that time, Eindhoven had approximately 170 houses surrounded by a defensive wall, where the city center is located today. After that, the city had the right to organize a weekly market, and farmers from neighboring villages began to come to Eindhoven to sell their products. Another important factor in the city's growth was its location on the commercial route between the Netherlands and the Belgian city of Liège. Around 1388, the city's fortifications were strengthened, and between 1413 and 1420, a new castle was built within the city walls. A great fire in 1554 destroyed approximately 75% of the city's houses, and in 1560 they were rebuilt with the help of William I, Prince of Orange. During the 80 Years' War for the independence of the Netherlands from Spain, Eindhoven changed hands between the Dutch and Spanish several times until finally in 1583 it was captured by Spanish troops and the city walls were demolished. Eindhoven did not become part of the Netherlands again until 1629, but it was only with the start of the Industrial Revolution that the city began to have greater regional and national importance. The Industrial Revolution of the 19th century led to great population growth and urban development. Canals, roads, and railways were built during this period. The city's industrial activities initially focused on the tobacco and textile industries, later growing with the rise of lighting and electronics. Giant Philips, which was founded as a lamp manufacturing company in Eindhoven in 1891. Industrialization also brought great population growth. Since in 1815, Eindhoven had only 1,250 inhabitants, and in 1920, the city's population already reached almost 48,000 inhabitants. After the resurgence of the Netherlands in 1815, Eindhoven was a small village in an economically backward area and mainly agricultural in function. Cheap land and labor made Eindhoven an attractive area for developing industries. During the 19th century, Eindhoven transformed into an industrial city with weaving, cigar making, matchmaking, and hat making factories. Eindhoven earned the nickname City of Lights for becoming the largest national supplier of matches. The explosive growth of industry and the housing needs of workers required radical changes in administration, as the city of Eindhoven was still confined to the boundaries of the medieval city laid out within the walls. In 1920, the 5 neighboring municipalities of Woensel, Tongol, Stratum, Gestel and Blartham, and Strijep were incorporated into Eindhoven. The beginning of the 20th century generated a growth in technical industry in the city, with the founding of the truck and car manufacturing company DAF, and with the traditional tobacco and textile industries diminishing and disappearing completely in the 1970s. A Second World War air raid was carried out in December 1942, targeting the Philips factory in the city center. Large-scale airstrikes destroyed much of the city. The reconstruction that followed left few historic remains, and the post-war reconstruction period saw drastic renovation plans, following the skyscraper style. At the time, there was little consideration for historical heritage. The 70s, 80s, and 90s saw the emergence of large-scale housing developments, making Eindhoven the 5th largest city in the Netherlands.